Before we start the committee meetings, on your desk you'll see binders that Deb, our clerk, had taken upon himself to develop for us. And do you want to just go through real quickly and explain to everybody what it is?
So it's a work in progress. The sections may change as we go along and figure out things that we need more, but this way, the goal is to keep your papers from being scattered all over your desks, and also for a little bit of increased privacy. So the first section is packet. If you're a chair of a packet, I'll put the packet in there, or if it's anything related to a packet. And mail, communications, local laws, add-ons, it's pretty self-explanatory in there. I'll just ask that you please leave the binder on your desk so that I can fill it up.
Thank you, Deb.
Very good, Deb. Thank you.
Okay. All right, I'd like to call to order the Health and Human Services Committee of the Montgomery County Legislature. It is Tuesday, November 21st, and it is 6:01 p.m. First on the agenda is discussion. Are there any members who have anything for discussion? I'd like to bring to you, if I see nobody else, I'd like to ask Sarah Barenko to talk to us a little bit about an upcoming resolution she's going to have for next month.
So as most of you know, we project our budget based on the county calendar year of January to December. However, our Children and Youth with Special Health Care Needs program runs on a school calendar from July to June. When we did our budget for last year, we had projected an increase of not very many children to be entering that program. We had projected 58. Since the school year has started, we have almost doubled that number of children that are involved in that program, so we now have 91 center-based children. This is going to be a deficit, and we talked to Sean about this today, of about $1.2 million. But the good news is we will get a portion of that back, either 60% or 40%, dependent upon Medicaid payments and non-Medicaid children and reimbursables. So I will have to put that resolution up before you for December, but I just wanted to give you a heads up that it will be a cost and an ask of 1.2, but we will get about 40 to 60% of that back. Our festival department is estimating that $720,000 will come back to the county over the course of several months once billing is submitted and the stacks from SED are put in. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Is this going to affect the year to close out?
It will. Yep, this will all have to go into fiscal closing.
So then it'll be two resolutions then? One affecting this budget and one next budget?
Correct.
Any other questions for Sarah? Thank you, Sarah. All right, continuing on with resolutions, we have a resolution amending the 2023 operating budget for Better Road Project for Social Services. Do I have a sponsor? Legislator Peck and Legislator Wilson. Any discussion?
Go ahead. Can someone explain what exactly this is going to do?
Yes.
Yeah, so this is, one of my understanding of it, just looking at it quickly, is just moving forward with some of the phase 2 engineering. And I know that there's some funding left in the budget this year. They might be moving out a few things. That's my understanding of it.
So what, just to kind of digest what you're saying, so we have extra funds in Medicaid, so we're going to take advantage of using those to pre-plan phase 2, which is the public health department in the rear of the building.
Yeah, and I believe also this is one of those things where if you don't move it into a capital project, you lose it. So I believe that's also a part of it.
All right, thank you.
Do we have any idea of what the budget is going to be for phase 2?
I believe total, right, the capital project was 3.5, phased over 2 years, 1.75 each year, if I remember correctly.
Legislator Kelly.
So the Medicaid line, we know that's the actual remaining balance we project.
I'll be honest, I thought that number was going to be a lot bigger. So I'm guessing that's what happened.
questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? That will move on to the full legislature. Next resolution is amending the 2023 operating budget for mental health. Do I have a sponsor? Legislator Sweet. Chairman Patel. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? And that moves on to the full legislature. Resolution amending the 2023 operating budget, Montgomery County mandated forensic billing for mental health. Any sponsor?
I'll sponsor.
Heck and Wilson. Any discussion?
Discussion.
Yes.
We're anticipating December. I have a problem, with writing a blank check. I much rather see what the bill is for October, whatever the bill is for October, we pay October's bill. November's bill comes, we pay November's bill. December comes, we pay December, instead of just saying, here it is. I mean, I'm gonna vote no on this anyways, because I don't think we should be paying this. I think it's the state's responsibility, because I guarantee you, on the 11th hour of when the state's supposed to be taking over, this person's gonna be released, and they're not gonna be held responsible to do it, and it's falling back on our shoulders, and, so that's.
So,
If I may, this is an inmate that's already in, so we are already behind paying these bills, so we already have to pay October, November, and this is a person who is extremely mentally ill. If the DA was here, she would explain to you that this is not somebody that they're letting go on these charges. This is somebody who is a long-term inmate.
And so you got two real, you got an October bill already that you know what it is, right?
Correct.
And you will know November's soon?
We know exactly what the cost is
Oh.
because it's a step rate per day, so if you look in the resolution, legislator packet, it tells you exactly per day what the cost is.
Right, okay.
But it still goes back to what I was saying. We shouldn't, when we get the October bill, we pay the October bill. When the November bill comes, we pay the November bill. I mean, we don't just.
Well, will you pay it that way?
Will I
In
be
segments? Will you pay it in segments? We got October's, pay it, November comes, pay
I
it,
don't
or?
have the money to pay the bill.
No, if we okayed it.
Sure, but then I have to come back every month and ask for a new resolution,
Oh,
just projecting
okay.
out to the
Yeah.
end of the year.
So this is,
So I can come back every month if you'd like that. I'm just trying to be proactive so that you have a better idea of what you're planning for to come out of the general fund instead of seeing me every month just say the same thing over and over again.
I'd like to see that.
If that's how you want to do it, Chairwoman, I definitely will.
Legislator Kelly.
So being we have this inmate, has it been built into next year's budget?
It has. We already put money in for our forensic services.
Any other discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Abstention?
we'll just go back, just to review that for a minute. So you propose that you'd like to see it paid every month?
No, I propose that I'd like to see Sarah here every month.
That you what?
Would like to see Sarah here every month.
We voted on the
So that should give them
Yes.
both. So you're kind of.
No, I'm voting for the resolution as,
Paying for 3 months,
Proposed, paying
or
for 3
reserving
months.
3 months.
yes,
Thank you.
yes. Do we need a revote? Yeah. All right, that will pass on to the full legislature. Next is a resolution for Berkshire Farm Center and Services for Youth Enhanced Stepping Stones Program, Agreement for Social Services.
sponsor.
Legislator Kelly and Legislator Sweet. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? And that moves on to the full meeting next week. Next is a resolution for Berkshire Farm Center and Services for Youth Stepping Stone Agreement, Social Services.
Sponsor.
Legislator Kelly
I'll second.
and Legislator Powell. All those in favor? Oh, discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? That moves on to the full legislature. Next is the resolution amending the 2023 operating budget for social services. Do I have a sponsor?
I'll sponsor.
Legislator Wilson and Legislator Powell. Any discussion? Legislator Kelly.
So there's enough money in the line being we're near the end of the year from juvenile delinquent to transfer?
At this point, there, yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? That moves on to the full legislator. Next is the resolution authorizing the county executive to sign contracts for home run and turnabout prevention programs for social services. Legislator Kelly? And Legislator Sweet. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? And that will also move along. Next is the resolution authorizing the county executive to sign agreements for services approved for use in 2024 social services. Sponsor. Legislator Peck and Wilson. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? That will move on. Next is a resolution authorizing the county executive to sign a contract with Hometown Healthcare Services, Sexually Transmissible Disease Services for Public Health. Do I have Legislator Kelly and Legislator Sweet? Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? That will move on also. Next is any other business anybody would like to discuss? Hearing none, need a resolution to adjourn.
So moved.
Second, let Chairman Patel and Sweet. Meeting is adjourned at 6:20. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Meeting is adjourned at 6:13.
All right, we'll call Economic Development Planning Committee to order. First thing on the agenda is discussion. Do any of the members of the legislature have anything to discuss pertaining to this committee? And none, we'll move right on to resolutions. First resolution is a resolution appointing member to the Montgomery County Industrial Development Agency and Capital Resource Corporation. I need a sponsor. Legislator Kelly, second Chairman Patel. Discussion.
Chair,
Yes.
what do we know about this guy? I mean, who is he, what's he do? I'm just curious, I know.
He's actually, he's a teacher with the Montgomery School District. He's currently on the board of trustees at the council for the village of Montgomery, and he's also the clerk of the board for the village of Nelson. And we really got to know legislator Peck the past year and a half. He's become very active in the western part of the county. He's been instrumental in restoring the York grant that was awarded to the
Okay.
state there, so he's very, I think he'll be able to.
And you needed somebody from that geography because the person who's leaving is from that geography, or not necessarily so?
Yeah,
Just
correct.
coincidence?
Ms. Shinneman is retired, obviously she's retired very
Yep.
easy. She's been on the board for about 16, 17 years, and she's totally.
Do you try to do that though? I mean, like if that person's from Canjo, you try to get somebody from the same geography if you can?
Yeah, how we've tried to set it up over years, it's kind of worked in our favor. It's kind of, we've looked at about 4 representatives from the eastern part of the county, including the town of Florida, and trying to keep about 3 representatives to the western part of the county.
And what's gonna happen to the officer hierarchy? Gonna redo it? I mean, she's the vice chair now, she's gone. so-
Right, what will happen is, first of the year, we have an organizational meeting,
Yeah.
and the board elects who the officers are.
Okay, thanks, thanks, Ken. Thanks,
Any
Chair.
discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? So carried. Next resolution, amending the 2023 operating budget for the 2023-2024 snowmobile grant, trail grants in aid program. I need a sponsor.
I'll sponsor.
Legislator Kelly, Legislator Hedwell. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? So carried. Next resolution is a resolution accepting a grant application from Montgomery County Microenterprise Program Homes and Community Renewal. Need a sponsor. Legislator Kelly, Legislator Pep. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. resolution is a resolution confirming seeker and NEPA classification for Montgomery County Microenterprise Program Homes and Community Renewal. Need a sponsor, Legislator Kelly.
I'll second.
Legislator Hidwell. Discussion. It's just normal, Ken?
Yep.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? So carried. Next resolution, the resolution authorizing county executive to sign change order number 2 with Ritter and Parator Contracting Inc. for demolition services, exit 29 redevelopment project. Sponsor, need a second. Legislator Waltrip, discussion.
You just, someone bring us up to date, it's only $1,500, but what is it?
Yeah, there was additional ACM, in a couple of the buildings, so that's what this is in relation to. As I stated at the last meeting, we may be coming with additional ones, this is one additional one. As of right now, talking to our engineers, there's none that are pending that we know of. They're pretty deep into the demolition. One I will be bringing back to the board at some point, most likely, will be for Vero, because they're going above and beyond their contract as far as the dates. Everything was supposed to be done by November of this year with the contractor, but obviously it's been pushed to the end of, most likely the end of March. The ESD with the Restore New York grant has extended our grant through the full course of 2024. So that right now, legislative body, the only one I know of right now that will be coming to you guys will be a chamber, but there'd be some that pop up as we keep going.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? So carried. Next resolution, resolution authorizing application for I Love New York Tourism Promotion Matching Grant Funds. Legislator Kelly. Legislator Wilson. Discussion.
Are we going to get a budget breakdown of how funds will be spent, stuff on the I Love New York and matching funds?
Oh, yeah, so that part of the application is due December 5th. So what they do is, for some reason, they make you apply beforehand, and then they do their formula of how much you can get.
I guess I'd like to see how the county is going to appropriate funds for tourism.
Oh, yeah, so, yeah, we'll give her, obviously, with that application, we'll have a breakdown of the matching funds, and then breakdown of our funds as well.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? So carried. Next resolution, resolution authorizing the county executive to enter into lease agreement with
I'll sponsor.
Ron Spacey, Tourism Satellite House. Legislator Wilson, discussion.
Yes.
Go ahead.
One question I had, I was talking to council about something else today, and I brought this one up. Given where this is strategically located, I'm hoping it's our plan that if there's an Italian fest, an Oktoberfest, a fest, that it's not dark in there when there's 5,000 people on the south side.
Yeah.
I know you have an office already, where we did down the mall, and we need another office, and that necessarily wouldn't be staffed during a large event. But if we're going to put it in the center of Times Square here, during a party, I would think it would be not a bad idea to have the lights on in the place, if that's the plan.
Take it a step further even and make sure there's staff there and.
That's what I mean, yeah. I mean,
We've already talked about how to
yeah.
shift schedules and.
That's part of the plan?
Stuff with that.
Yeah.
Want to have someone there for all the events that happen on the south side, and also kind of flex some of the staff in our office during the summer months through the fall months. A lot of times.
Okay. The other question is, it says $1,300 a month, but the United Way is going to pay $400, but in the finance line, it says we're paying $1,300 a month. So do we pay the 13 and get reimbursed from United Way? Are we subletting to them, or is our a cost 900, and should that say 900?
I'm not sure how that would work with the finances. Megan's working with United Way on the lease right now.
Just curious,
I would guess
semantics, but
I think we pay the whole thing and they don't get the money.
is that how it works now? Don't they?
My guess, but
don't they have that arrangement with us now at the mall, or didn't they?
They paid the chamber. And
Oh.
then we paid
I
the
see.
chamber.
Okay,
So is our share 1,300 or is it
900
total?
is our share. Total rent's 1,300, we pay 900, and I pay.
maybe we should, will our lease say 1,300 or will it say 9? Because the line says 1,300 per month will be paid to Ultimo for the lease, per the lease agreement. So will the lease agreement say 900 from us, or will it say 1,300? And this should reflect that, I'm just saying, you know.
Lease agreement says 1,300.
All right, so there must, okay, you've seen the lease agreement. All right, so then we'll be getting the money from United Way as a sublet.
Megan's working on that.
Sublease?
right now.
It'll be
Yes.
whatever Megan says.
I'm working with United Way on if they want to be a co-signer to the direct lease itself. The total of the lease is $1,300 a month.
Okay,
It's,
yeah.
it's kind of a semantics thing, so it'll either
Yeah.
be $1,300 and they'll co-sign with
Okay.
us, or they'll sublet. And if that is the case, you'll get another resolution authorizing the sublease agreement.
Okay, thank you very much.
So that building is split in two. We're using both halves or just one?
Actually, there's three, so there's the Limo's restaurant, that'll be us, and I
Oh,
believe
right.
a dance studio essentially.
So the middle one is
We're
where?
in the middle.
So where Duke was,
Yes.
so we would name it the
That's
John
kinda
Chelsea Memorial.
Yeah, that's nice. Put it in a picture. Yeah.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, so carried. Anything under other? Motion to adjourn? Kelly? Walter? 6:22.
All right, I will call the Education and Government Committee meeting to order at 6:22. Remind it's a committee of the whole. Any discussion? Hearing none will lead to the first resolution. Resolution authorizing the Department of Law to enter into a cooperative agreements with the Department of Social Services. I'll sponsor it. Do I have a second? Legislator Sweet. Council, I think it'd be good to describe what's going on here. I know we talked about it today, but just so everybody understands and how it's going to work.
Yep, so this is an agreement for 2023. As you guys know, the Department of Social Services had some staffing issues. So the Department of Law has been stepping in and helping us to fill some of the gaps. In doing that, we may be eligible to recover
Reimbursement.
yeah, some money from the state to reimburse my salaries and my assistants. So we're gonna see if we can make that happen, and it's worth a shot. And the rate for reimbursement is 60-something% of any of the time that either myself or my assistant spent on social services work. So,
And you will be able to do it in the future as well, correct, with when your new special attorney coming on, doing work in that area. If you do work in that area before you hire somebody, we can do this again next year, correct?
yeah, this
Anytime you
is,
dedicate time to social services, you can get some reimbursement.
yeah, this is something we're looking at doing moving forward as well for
Okay.
2024. But we wanted to start with 2023 and see how we did with that.
Great. Any further questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, that goes to next week's meeting. Next resolution, adopting introductory local law local law 8 of 2023, the local law establishing the salary schedule of various county officials. Sponsor? Kowalczyk, and second? Sweet? All, discussion? These are all the salaries we approved last month, making it a matter of law. We'll have no further discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Abstentions? All right, our next resolution authorizing participating in the suboxone class action settlement. Sponsor?
Sponsor.
Legislator Wilson? Legislator Kowalczyk? Discussion? Council, any idea
So this
what
was,
we're talking about monetarily here?
it looks like we spent about $70K on this drug that we might be able to submit a claim for to recover. So this was something that was recommended by Orion Personnel and the Department
Okay.
of Law jointly.
Okay,
So we'll be submitting a claim if it passes the legislature.
all right. further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions. Next resolution authorizing county executive to sign agreement, Soil and Water Conservation District.
No sponsor.
Legislator Kelly, Legislator Sweet. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Abstentions. All right, carries to next week. The next resolution authorizing county executive to sign agreement, Office for the Aging.
No sponsor.
Legislator Kelly, I'll second it. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Next resolution authorizing county executive to sign agreement, Cornell Cooperative Extension.
No sponsor.
I knew that would happen. And it's history. It's history. And Chairman Pertel, second. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? All right, and motion to adjourn the Education Government Committee at 6:26, Legislator Kelly and Chairman Pertel.
Okay, we'll call the Public Safety Committee to order, 6:27. Anyone have anything to discuss pertaining to this committee? None. We'll bring on to resolutions. First resolution, a resolution authorizing the county executive to sign NYSDA, New York State Defenders Association Case Management System Software Maintenance Agreement Extension. Need sponsor?
I'll sponsor.
I'll second it. Go ahead, Bill.
This is a grant-funded computer software program. We've had it, so this is just a continuation of the program.
Any questions?
It's 100% grant funded. It's 100% grant funded.
Yes.
Good thing. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstained? So carried. Next resolution, the resolution amending Resolution 147 of 2023. Non-sponsor, need a second. Legislator Wilson, go ahead.
So this is, I was here a few months ago for this. It's a successful program, but the way I wrote it initially, it really didn't do what I was trying to do, and that is pay lawyers when they're in court off hours. It was based on when the call was received, and that didn't necessarily translate into hours in court. So this just amends it so that they get paid if they're in court between the hours of 8 p.m. and 7 a.m.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Any questions for Bill? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Abstained? So carried. Next resolution. What's that? Anyone opposed?
No.
Sure. Next resolution, resolution amending the 2023 operating budget, establishing positions of principal network system administrator. Sponsor, need a second. Legislator Kelly. Who's not here today?
Can we take this one? I'll start, you go with details. So the sheriff and the district attorney are trying to meet the needs of the department from an IT perspective and available personnel. I urged them to work within the positions they had, because they had an idea. They went through the process of vetting this through Nicole and personnel and civil service, and that's what you have before you now is a change that's going to help them manage, what they have to do on the IT side, which, to be fair, has been demanding with the new stuff coming in from the state. And they feel this is the best way to move forward, and they're both on board with it. And I know they spent a considerable amount of time on personnel working this through. I was in on a couple of meetings.
So this position will be under the sheriff's department, in the sheriff's department.
The current position will be eliminated. The current position as in the sheriff's department will be eliminated.
One other just thing, this resolution does have an amendment to the 2024 operating budget. I spoke with the treasurer. He would like to do 2024 operating budget amendments all in one resolution in January, like we've done historically. So, Deb, if you could just strike from the title the portion about amending the 2024 operating budget, and then strike that last further resolve clause that directs the treasurer to amend 2024 operating budget. Yeah, all the lines.
Any other discussion pertaining this? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? So carries. Next resolution, resolution amending the 2023 and 2024 operating budget and adding part-time assistant public defender. Sponsor, Legislator Wilson, Legislator Walter. Go ahead, Bill.
So, if I draw on, you can just tell me to sit down. I've been thinking about this for the last 4 days, so I had a lot on my mind. 25 years ago, I began this job, and there was no public defender. About 2 years into it, the county did hire a part-time family court attorney, and that was the only attorney in family court for approximately 10 years. 12 years ago, we got a grant from ILS to hire another part-time attorney, so there have been 2 attorneys in family court for the last 12 years. Now, anybody who has any familiarity with family court knows that this is a growing industry. It is really growing exponentially. The mandates come down. The judge now is required to assign a lawyer at the first appearance. That's new. There's a new regulation that the courts, the public defender will be assigned to people who don't even have cases in court yet if they request it, and under certain circumstances. So I tried a couple of years ago to get a public defender through the ILS, and I was told that this particular grant was only authorized for criminal court, so I couldn't do it. I submitted an application for another grant, and it was denied. I've been trying through ILS to get some money, and I just have not been successful to do it. So I haven't been here asking you for anything in family court. But county expense, and it's been 23 years, I think. And I guess I was kicking the can down the road. I knew this was going to be a problem, and I got an email from the 2 family court attorneys about 3 weeks ago. And it was very polite, but they were both telling me, listen, this is not sustainable. I asked them both to be here tonight, and one of them's sick, so she couldn't be here. One of them is here, Attorney Bannister. So if you have any questions for him, he's the one to answer. But so I got an email from both of them that's what prompted this. And basically what they're telling me is that, Bill, we can't keep this up. We just can't do it. The other attorney who's not here told me, she said she pretty much had to shut down the practice. She just didn't have time for it. And she said to me, Bill, this is not a threat, but I'm just telling you, we just can't maintain this anymore. And this attorney here, Josh, pretty much told me the same thing. And I mean, reading between the lines, I know what they're telling me, that if something doesn't change, at least the way I interpreted it, you can ask them, that they're not going to be here for long. And if that happens, if one or both of them leaves, I've gone through this in my head over and over again. I don't see any way out of this without the court starting to assign 18 people here, which is going to be very expensive, a lot more expensive than if the county hires another one. I've avoided coming here to ask you for this for all these years. I probably should have done it sooner than it's a mistake that I didn't do it. I thought that I was going to be able to get money from ILS, but it never materialized. So we're at a critical stage right here. These lawyers that we have here are very good lawyers. I hate to lose them. You can't find good lawyers often for family court. A lot of lawyers don't want to practice in family court. There's no line of lawyers waiting to get into family court. It's very difficult. And so I don't want to overstate the case, but then again, I don't want to walk away and not have you understand where we are with this. Like I say, he's here, and if you have any question you want to ask him, you can hear from the horse's mouth. But I'm hoping that we can get this position. We have in our budget already, if you recall, we had to eliminate the position of the first assistant because we didn't have anybody from Montgomery County. So we already have $20-some thousand available from the first assistant salary, which has not been utilized, so we can apply that towards this position. So I don't want to belabor this point.
So, going off from the first assistant, we then created another assistant part-time.
Right, but the salary was substantially less. That's where the savings of the 20,000.
I understand that. So then where would this new position fall in your hierarchy?
Well, it would be family court.
Is that the public defender line?
Public defender, yes.
So, did you have somebody in the first assistant public defender in past that wasn't, because of geography, wasn't supposed to fill the line? Or?
Our first assistant took the job as the administrator of the 18B office. So he left. That was a position that was created by ILS. That's new. We haven't had that for a long time, a year or two now. So the position opened up and he left the office, which left a vacancy. So it wasn't a new hire, it was just, we filled it with an attorney, but not as a first assistant. So that was not a new hire. It was a replacement.
Is there also a particular reason why this is pressing for next year? Is that, yeah.
Did I say that?
Yeah, I think it's relevant.
Well, so Attorney Bannister called me just what you're talking about?
Yeah.
So he called me a few weeks back, I don't remember how many, and he said, Bill, I want to take 2 or 3 weeks off, and I want to know, I said, with or without pay? He said, I want to do this. And he wants to join the IDF as a volunteer. So, God bless him, I'd say. So, that's another reason why we would need somebody, because if he's gone for 3 weeks, then somebody's going to have to fill in, and the attorney who was there is not going to be able to pick up the ball.
So we would have to restructure the financial impact portion.
Yeah, because there wasn't even one in there. But I mean, also the offsets to the.
Right, I'm saying,
Yeah,
add the
yeah,
offset
yeah.
and lines and all that stuff. What is everyone's opinion?
Sounds like it's needed.
Sounds like it's
Even without the departure, right, temporarily here. And let's hope it's temporary. You come back safe, sound, and in one piece.
And I think just to add to it, you have 2 really, really good employees that have really been working extremely hard and have voiced that they're feeling the crunch. And so I encourage Bill to just share the story of what was going on here, and so you guys can make a decision. But we can run really, really well.
I actually, as you guys know, I've been filling in the family court more fairly often. And I actually joke with Attorney Bannister that his full-time office is in the family court, because every time I go there, he's sitting there on his computer working on something. They are constantly there.
So I guess restructure the financial impact part of it, and then we can bring it.
So there's actually a couple of amendments we have to make to this resolution too. So Deb, same as the last one, if we can strike that 2024 operating budget portion in the title and that last further resolved. The grade needs to change actually from a U to a P. And then Deb, do you mind just working with Sean for that increase appropriations, fixing that to reflect the money coming from that first public defender line? That's where you want the money from.
Any further discussion?
What did you just say, Counselor?
You want me to repeat the whole thing?
Where's the money coming from?
20 if it's coming from the other position, where would the other 40 come from?
We only need 5K right now, because it's for the 2023.
That's the remainder.
And you're
Right,
only
for the
doing
remainder of the
23
year,
here?
for 2023.
Okay.
Then we'll need to amend the 20.
So that'll come as part of the other, okay.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? All right, so we'll go on to next week. Anything else under other? Motion to adjourn. Consider Kelly, consider Pat.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. I have to fix it.
Go get them.
Be safe.
Oh, absolutely. Be
Are
careful.
you wishing him good luck in court against me, or just good luck in
No,
general?
good luck in that Middle Eastern cesspool. And we need a D in defender.
Yes, and a dean.
I'd like to call the Physical Services Committee to order. Open the floor for discussion on item 1. Any discussion?
Here's some discussion. Matt?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
I want to say last year, but I think it was even before that, I think Chairman Pep was the chairman at this time. Remember when we met at the school about that path?
Yeah,
I mean, it's still not done.
yeah.
And it just bothers me unbelievable that with the resources that we have between the county, the towns, the villages, being able to do work. I mean, you saw what the county helped do with the village, with their park right there on Park Street, that this hasn't been done. I mean, the kids are still walking in the street, they're still walking up the cemetery. I just don't understand how we can't assist and get this thing taken care of. I mean, they've gone out with, the engineering was supposed to be easy. They went out and did a full-fledged engineering thing on it. It just seems it's just going on and on and on. And I'm afraid 3 years down the road, we'll still be looking at this thing and saying, why didn't it get done? I mean, I think it just looks bad for all of us that we can't get a path up an old road
Yep.
and get something done. I mean, it's just,
Yeah, what I'll do is I have an email that was sent over to the superintendent that explains the particulars as to, why the progress has stopped as far as our end goes. Yeah, I think the discussion is around the simplicity or lack thereof of the project. And I think when they dug into it with the engineering, there was a lot more involved than what was originally anticipated. That's my understanding of it. I have not seen that email in a few weeks, so I don't want to speak just more than that off the top of my head, but I can share that with.
but we all know how engineering works. I mean, if you let them go, they're gonna make the thing like a New York State Thruway.
Yeah.
I mean, all it was is a walking path up through for
Yeah.
kids to be able to walk and be safe.
I get that, and I might have had similar frustrations along the way in the last 10 years. I think, you're talking about some big grade changes, water flow, kid safety, anything you put there, a kid gets hit, there's just a lot of concerns and some issues, and I would rather share that email and then have the discussion, because that has more of the particulars in it that I don't have at the moment.
Thank you, sharing that with everyone. Seems simple.
Yes.
And item number 2, resolution amending the 2023 operating budget for Public Works. I'll sponsor it. Looking for a second. Legislator Clausen. Discussion. All those in favor of moving it to a full board, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Item number 3, resolution authorizing the increase in permitting fees within the Department of Public Works.
I'll sponsor, and I'll second it.
Legislator Peck, Legislator
P&P.
Chairman. Chairman. Discussion. All those in favor of moving to full board, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Moved. Item 4, resolution amending the 2023 operating budget for Public Works. I'll sponsor it. Looking for a second. Legislator Sweet. Discussion.
This to do with the water again with Fultonville? What is this about?
This is the permitting fees one?
No, this is
the
water
usage.
usage.
Yeah.
That's, yes, that's my understanding. I might not have seen that one.
We started having discussions about
40K.
that in the past, looking into this. I think that we, Bob, you worked on it, I worked on it. I don't think
The
we've
jail,
done
the
it.
jail was using about $10,000 a month, and all of a sudden now we're up to needing this much more. It just doesn't make sense that we're gonna spend $40,000 for 2 months in water and sewer bills.
You know, we're always hiring engineers to do everything, and this is something I would support. Hiring an engineer to come in and analyze what's going on with the water situation.
Yeah, but Bob, this is just for paying the bill. This isn't analyzing anything, doing anything else.
No, I'm saying because of this, we had that discussion before, we just got frustrated with it, and we just accepted the fact that we're just a high-end hotel. And I mean, I'd like to have a discussion at some point about having someone professionally look into the water rates and if there's any suggestions. Yes, well, Ken has a question.
Chair, just to let you guys know, we did meet with Prime AE, the Sheriff's Department, our office, and Public Works, because we're gonna look at the wells in the back. It's not gonna be anything related to that, but we had issues up there with fire suppression issues with regards to what happened up there at the one company over the past couple of weeks. They basically drained a lot of water within the village of Fultonville. So we're working with Prime AE, they're gonna go in, to look at both our facility and the public safety facility with regards to the quality of the water and what type of filtration units you will need. But we're only, as part of that engineering study, we're only looking at the wells and being to tap them for emergency type of purposes up there. We do have a quote on that. The idea is to pay for it, obviously, because it affects the businesses up there. But if you guys want to add to that potential scope, go with the engineering firm, might be something that we want to discuss and piggyback onto that as we're going to be up there investigating that. We're going to authorize that at our December meeting. So if you guys want us to amend that scope in any type of way, just let us know.
I guess.
Ken, one of the things that in the past, and what transpired up there is the pumps in the village are automatic pumps. They don't know that there's a fire, so they don't know that to go at a higher rate. What had happened before when one of the village guys was a past fireman, was living there in the village, something like that happened, he heard on the scanner, he went down there and put the pumps on full force. So one of the things that needs to be done is there needs to be a plan so that when there's a fire, there's something going on, that they have a plan in place to do something with those pumps. Because this is the second or third time when there's been an incident in the village where they've drained the tower, and it never should have happened. I mean, when the fire was on Montgomery Street, you know, that tower went down 5 feet for that fire. So just an example of what happens when you can manually override the pumps and get things going. It makes a big difference, so.
I guess my point is, you know, we're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on water every year up just at the jail. And I think that it might be prudent to have an engineer come through and sift through all the data and see if there is miscalculations or there's some other way to monitor that, because it just seems crazy that the amount of money we're spending on water there, or whether there's a way in the jail to reduce the amount of water gallon-minute shower heads or low-flow toilets or whatever.
What I can do, Chair, is I can flip you, some of you guys, I can flip whoever you want on yourself and whoever other legislator you want, the actual scope of services that are in place now that we're gonna take to the board, and you guys can look at that, and, you wanna add stuff to it, and you can go that route, so that, that's what you're about.
I'll just send it to everybody and whoever chooses to reply. Thank you.
Any other discussion? All those in favor of moving to full board, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same. Item 5, resolution authorizing the county exec to sign a court cleaning agreement, unified court system.
I'll sponsor.
Legislator Pett. Legislator Sweet. Discussion. All those in favor of moving to a full board, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? So moved. Item number 6, resolution authorizing the county exec to sign into an agreement with the bridge repair on Canalway Trail, Amendment 2023 Operating Budget Public Works. I'll sponsor it. Looking for a second.
This work is done, right, council, you said?
That's my understanding.
Yes. It's already complete. I was talking to her about my resolutions today, and I was asking about this one, and just because I didn't like the way it sounded, like they get to go around and say, this needs fixing, and we gotta go pay for it.
This was a pretty.
But it's gotta be done, you know.
There were some pretty serious situations that needed to get addressed.
And there is a meeting coming up with the Commissioner of Public Works and myself and representatives from the Department of Environmental Conservation next week to address how future repairs will be.
Do I have a second?
Not Parks and Recreation.
I thought it was out.
All those in
Yeah,
favor?
I thought it was legislature street.
Discussion? All those in favor of moving to full board, say aye.
Aye.
Sorry.
Opposed? Abstained? Anything under other? Motion to adjourn, Legislator Kelly. Legislator Pett. 6:53.
I guess you're going first.
I wasn't told that.
I'm gonna tell you now that we're changing the.
All right,
in
I
order
call the Budget and Finance Committee to order. We're in discussion, anybody from the public, fellow legislators? Hearing none, we'll move right along. First resolution is resolution authorizing county exec to sign building use agreement, office space KCS Land Research Group. Is there a sponsor? Legislator Kowalczyk, Chairman Patel, discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, carried. Next is resolution authorizing county treasurer to disperse mortgage tax money. Is there a sponsor?
Sponsor.
Legislator Pett, seconded by Chairman Patel. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, carried. Next is a resolution approving abstract of audited claims. Is there a sponsor? Legislator Wilson, seconded by Legislator Kowalczyk. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, carried. Is there anything under other? I have something. Are we changing our December meetings this year, or are they staying the same?
What dates do we have now?
It would be the 26th for our monthly meeting, I believe.
Yeah. Day after Christmas. I don't
Yeah,
have a problem.
yeah, that's fine.
Works for whoever the clerk is, the counselor, everyone. Just wanted it brought up. Hearing nothing else, is there a motion to adjourn? Legislator Kowalczyk, seconded by Legislator Wilson. We're adjourned.
I'll call the Personnel Committee to order. Is there any discussion from the floor? If not, first resolution authorizing the county executive to sign an agreement with Tokyo Marine HCC Insurance Company. Have a sponsor? Pat, and second, and legislators Sweet. Any discussion? All in
This is-
favor? What? Yeah, go ahead.
Does this fall in line with normal rates?
That would be a Nicole question.
It does, and it's lower than the original proposal of 19% increase over last year.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Okay, next resolution adopting the amended CSEA Local 1000 AFS CME AFL CIO Appendix B and salary schedules based on recent salary reallocations of various titles personnel. And sponsor? Sponsor, Sweet, and Legislator Pep. Any discussion?
These are all budgeted for?
Yeah.
Correct.
They're all budgeted for, it's based on, what was adopted in the 2024 budget.
Thank you.
All in
This is the
favor?
non-bargaining resolution.
No,
No.
it's CSDA.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Resolution adopting the revised non-bargaining policy for full-time, part-time appointed and department heads. Sponsor? Wilson, second was Sweet. Discussion? All in favor?
Wait, I have discussion on this one. You guys have that adopted policy in your new binders from Deb, under the pocket. Deb, if you can just make sure you attach that to the resolution, please.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Next resolution authorizing the county executive to sign renewal agreement. Affinity Med Solutions LLC. Sponsor? Legislator Pep, Legislator Wilson. Discussion?
Deb, if you could just add an I in the title after the Z in authorizing.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? You want to do that?
Go into executive session to discuss a personnel matter. And Nicole, if you could stay, and Pat, would you excuse us for a few minutes?
I make a motion that we come out of executive session where no action is taken.
Second.
Under personnel, is there anything under other? If not, here, motion to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.